Time to talk business with our partners 2 Degrees. SkyCity's CEO has apologised after a report landed looking into the casino chain's Adelaide operations. Dileepa Fonseka with BusinessDesk joins me now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you here. Let's start. We'll come to SkyCity in just a second, but we've got the inflation number out of the US overnight for July.
Yes, so it's coming in a tick underneath what some of the analysts or economists were kind of expecting, 2.7%. For the US inflation number, and analysts have been expecting 2.8%. The core inflation number is still high, 3.1%. That's a number that excludes food and energy, because food and energy prices basically move around a lot. And in fact, that's what happened in this case, is the food prices and energy prices. I know that sounds weird from a New Zealand perspective, but in the US they've gone down. So Trump is obviously claiming a little bit of a victory of sorts from this. He's already posted out on Truth Social asking the CEO of Goldman Sachs, suggesting that he should focus more on his DJ career. He's CEO of Goldman Sachs had criticised the tariff policies and said that it's going to lead to inflation. And he's also known as I think it's DJ Sol or something, I think.
Because this is the argument that Trump puts up the tariffs, the pass-through it pumps up inflation again. We actually haven't seen that in a massive way yet, have we, in the US?
Yeah, well, it is actually quite interesting, because obviously companies have been reacting to what's been going on. And there's also been a little bit of I think there's a little bit of confusion about what tariffs have been enacted and what are on pause and things as well. But the firms have obviously been reacting by, at first, stockpiling a whole bunch of inventory, so that it wouldn't actually even be hit by the tariffs. But still, like now in place, I think I saw some Yale Budget Lab figures. They'd kind of done a sort of average across a whole bunch of goods, and I think they were saying that the tariffs are 18.6% effectively, which is the highest it's been since 1933. And I think that some economists that I've seen have estimated that about 67% of that is going to flow through to consumers. So some companies are going to kind of eat it. And I mean, I think it's like with other things, as with COVID and other things, is the effects, they take a little while to come to anything on.
And in the meantime, are being offset by energy and food. So,
yeah, and I mean, you are seeing inflation. I mean, 2.7% is still inflation. Yeah,
we're just so bloody used to it, aren't we? Which is sad. Yeah. Hey, what's going on with SkyCity?
Yeah, so there was a long-awaited report. I think it's been going on since 2022. It was kind of paused because the Australian regulator was taking some proceedings against SkyCity's Adelaide operation. There was a report that was released about looking into the Adelaide operations. Money laundering, host responsibility, those kind of whether things were followed there. And I mean, I suppose the good news for SkyCity is that they're holding on to their license, which is actually was perhaps a danger that some people saw might be on the cards potentially. But there's definitely some pretty critical language in there about what actually happened. And SkyCity's CEO actually released a statement apologising for the past failures. And there is a bit of a caveat in some of the things they've said in that report, and that they've said, they're kind of suitable person at the moment, and they wouldn't have been if it had been if we've been talking about some of the past kind of management and things like that, that would have been considered suitable. And they're assuming that there might be improvements in the future, or the current trajectory might continue.
You got to cross your T's and dot your I's when you're in the gambling business, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, there's just regulations coming in now. Obviously, there's a lot more scrutiny. I mean, some of the case studies in this whole thing are pretty interesting. They show very suspicious cash movements, including one person who's sort of transferred some cash to into the kind of SkyCity Adelaide sort of operation, and then they've taken the cash out, and apparently some of the casino staff might have helped them buy a suitcase to put the cash in. So there's all kinds of there's all kinds of case studies in there. I mean, there's definitely major criticisms in that report.
Now, very quickly, we've got an update on the government's golden visa scheme. This was much lauded, and they had applications up the wazoo, more, I think, in a couple of months than they had in a couple of years under the previous scheme. What more are we learning?
Yeah, it's a lot more successful than the previous scheme in terms of bringing in money, but I guess we're learning a lot more about the shape of where that money is going. So the majority of it seems to be going to managed funds. The next sort of most popular is government bonds. And so, of course, and I think government bonds is just over a quarter. So, of course, there's going to be some criticism about, hey, is this money going, we said, we all were talking about this is going to be, guys are going to be actively involved in companies and things. And when you take a look at the sort of managed funds, a big portion of that is going to private credit. So that's money being loaned to companies. And of course, private credit would say that we're fulfilling a big job, as they have done overseas, because the banks aren't lending to businesses anymore. So this is money that's, going in. But obviously, it's less direct in terms of the investor involvement in a business kind of thing.
Yeah, and they're not coming in and directly taking a stake in some company or some Kiwi business or something like that.
Yeah, so the criticism, I guess, that's going to be levelled by some is going to be like, well, this is basically people who are parking money in these investments for 3 years and then taking it out and getting their visa. Or in the case of government bonds, for 5 years or something, I think, over 10 million,
Dileepa, excellent wrap as always. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks so much, Dileepa Fonseka from Business Desk. And we talk business every day thanks to our partners, 2 Degrees.